Commissioner Gallagher.
Here.
Commissioner Mullins.
Aye.
Commissioner Wilkins.
Present.
Morgan is present.
As you wish, please stand for the pledge and the invocation. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most holy and glorious Lord God, the great architect of the universe, the giver of all good gifts and graces, we come to you. We say thank you for all the many blessings that you've given us. Please continue to watch over us. Please continue to watch over this country. Give us the strength. Watch over our law enforcement, our emergency first responders, and all who are involved with protecting us. It's in your name, Christ's name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I have three amendments to the agenda. Two of them are permission to get sealed bids for two different projects, and the third one is approval of our insurance bid. These three items will be on the end of our normal agenda today. And Kevin, please remind me on that insurance. I don't have a slide for that.
I move to amend the agenda as presented.
Okay?
And I will second.
All in favor, aye? Aye. Okay, thank you. Consent agenda is approval of minutes for the meeting of last week, monthly report from the auditor, the certificate of training from the auditor, and a clarification of the child support pay increase effective date. All in favor, or motion?
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
And I'm seconding that
All
motion.
in favor, aye? Aye. We have one table agenda item, and that is a memorandum of understanding of the salary commission. Are we ready to operate on that, or?
Well, not quite yet, and I appreciate y'all coming for this update, but we have a little bit more to do, and then we'll make a recommendation, or we'll make the thing known. We have a meeting with the sheriff proper Thursday at 1 o'clock to get input and more questions answered, so I don't know that we ought to table it again. We'll release the information when we get it, and when we know what we're gonna be doing, but the committee's working well, it's doing good, we're working toward that. I believe we'll get it all accomplished, but we just need a little bit more information from them, so we're kind of paused right now.
Are we gonna
All right,
table that, or
you
what?
can take no action and set the agenda on the agenda for further meeting, or you can table it and it should automatically come up next week. So
Let's
whatever you
table it.
want to
I'll
do.
move to table it
And
until we
when
meet.
it comes up
Yeah.
next week, and you can always say, okay, here's where we're at, we can table it again for a week, whatever. So
Well,
you have a motion to table till next week.
Well, we hope it's moving, so.
You have a motion?
Second.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you, that's a tabled item then.
We'll put it on the agenda next week.
Sorry, we didn't have anything positive today, but thank you.
It's moving.
We're going to donate a 2011 Crown Vic to the Bismarck Fire Department. Buck, you want to talk about it, or?
Yeah, it's 2011, it's 200,000 miles on it. It runs course with the sheriff's department, and no more than we get out of it at an auction. They put in a request for one, so we figured we'd just donate it to Bismarck Fire Department.
What about safety equipment and all that? Will that be taken off, or they get it?
Everything that we could use, we take off, yeah.
Okay, all right.
So has this been declared surplus yet, or does it need to be, or has it been made surplus, or do we need to make it surplus and then agree to donate?
Or our inventory, have you surplus to get?
I told Rhonda about it.
So this is a request, really, since you're talking about this, to go ahead and declare it surplus right now.
Surplus.
Declare it surplus and dispose of it. That's my motion.
As a donation, okay. Do you have a motion? Second?
We'll second.
Okay, any questions? Okay, thank you, Buck. And of course, we'll make sure the serial numbers and everything are.
I got that.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, you put on it.
Okay.
Need a vote.
You need a vote. You have a vote.
Have a motion second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Ms. Spence. Appointment request, the developmentally disabled group wishes to extend Craig Sutherland and Louise Fox term to another term.
I would move that we approve the appointments of Craig Sutherland and Louis Walsh for another term.
And I would second the motion.
Any questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Request for audition, the auditor's services. No Louis today.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
I can talk
Amber?
about it if you want.
I think there was a typo on the agenda.
Yeah, this is not for audition services, this is for
I couldn't pass it
our,
up. I couldn't pass it up.
our required independent audit, our current contract, that was for 3 years with Daniel Jones, is up. So we would like to go ahead and get permission to solicit an RFP for our independent audit for the year 2020 with the possibility of also being 2021 and 2022.
Okay. Now, this is extension rather than a,
No, we could technically extend our current contract, but we feel it's good to always see what other independent auditors can offer.
and you do need to
So-
switch auditors on occasion.
We prefer to keep the same one, but also that's not always a good thing either, cause you can get complacent with the information and can miss things, so we always wanna look and see what else is out there.
Well, on the recommendation of the auditor and the department, I move that we solicit bids for the purpose of auditing by outside auditors.
And I will second it.
Any questions? All in favor, aye?
Thank you.
Thank you. MOU TDL, I'm still waiting for legal advice on that. Haven't gotten it yet. Travis is involved with some trials and he's very busy, so we'll just wait until we get that. And it's basically what I'm waiting for is a rewrite of the financial payment system that they would do. Everything else pretty well in order.
So would you like to wait to put that on the agenda next week, or would you like?
Let's
have
table
it
that for next week.
So somebody needs to make motion table, and then we'll automatically put on.
We table the TDL memorandum of understanding.
And I'd second that motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, aye.
Well, it will appear next week.
Okay. Approval to hire Deputy Clerk 1 at the Assessor's Office. Yes,
We're just asking permission to hire a deputy clerk.
Identify first and then say.
Vicki Keller, personal property director, we're just asking permission to hire Christine McFerrin as a deputy clerk.
And this is still in
She's
their
replacing
vacancy?
someone that retired in 2019.
And they recently left, or?
Well, she left in 19, we just hadn't filled the position yet.
and go on pay scale as Clerk 1.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have any issue with it. I would even make a motion to approve to hire Deputy Clerk Christine McFerrin.
And I'd second that motion.
Questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Now, this is part of the amended agenda. We want to put no contact doors on this and the courthouse buildings because of the COVID thing. Our doors are working now as they are, but this prevents contact. And so this will help eliminate some of those exposures. Stanley is probably the only supplier, the only ones we've found, but we would like to get permission to go ahead and get those sealed bids.
I'd move that we solicit bids for the replacement doors that open automatically.
And I will second.
Questions? Yes, Dan?
Is that all the doors?
No, 2 doors in each building. And it's very similar to the Weber Road facility doors. You just walk up and they're electric hot. Okay, Dan,
Will this work with the automatic badge locks? Will these doors work with that? Do we know yet? With our badge system, how our doors automatically
I
lock?
think they do.
They do?
That's a question for
Okay,
Brian. Yeah.
I'll ask them then.
And they're lockable, of course, as they are out there, so. Okay. Any other questions? All in favor for permission to seek sealed bids, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Next one is also our amended agenda, that's hard for me to say. Request for sealed bids for ultraviolet filtration of our air system in our buildings. Ultraviolet light does kill viruses, and we're pretty sure it works on COVID. And I would like to seek the permission to get bids to incorporate this in our buildings. There's a possibility that the units are not available, there's probably a high demand for them. I did learn that Brian and his crew can install them, that would help. So we would like to go ahead and pursue this matter and see if we can get these filtration systems in our building. And it would, I have it at my home, and this definitely helps there. So, motion?
I would move that we seek, of course, for sealed bids for ultraviolet filtration of air systems in our building.
And I'd second the motion.
Okay, any questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
And here is the one you're supposed to remind me of.
Yes, the insurance, we got our
The insurance
bids,
bid.
we had only one bid, it was tracked out to the auditor, it was properly bid. And then we asked for clarification from the Teamsters insurance provider. Their representative is here today to provide that, and they've also, I've got, since received their line item things that we'll be able to approve if you so desire after he gives a report.
Okay. Tim, come on.
All right, great, thank you. Good morning, Tim Meadows for the record, Secretary Treasurer, Teamsters Local 600. Harold, when we signed off on the original agreement 3 years ago, there was in place what was called a participation agreement from Team Care. I provided the commission a copy, you have one. I did put one in front of you, Gail, and one in front of you, Brad, so you guys have it. I'm going to go ahead and read this into the record, and then I'll tell you what I follow up with what I had done. Okay? Item 7 that specifically states that if the collective bargaining agreement states that contributions shall not be due on a newly hired covered employees for a specific waiting period, no contribution shall be due until the covered employee completes the specific waiting period. To comply with the Affordable Care Act, the waiting period can be no longer than 1 month. Contributions on new employees will commence with the month following the month during which the employee was hired. The Health and Welfare Fund requires a 2-month initial contribution period for new hires before benefit coverage commences. Please note that the initial contribution period is waived for all employees of the new group, and that's when we were new, by the way. For the new group, at the time of transition to Central States Health and Welfare Fund as of the effective date of participation. All future new hires or employees on probation as of the date of the group joins the Health and Welfare Fund will be subject to the 2-month initial contribution period. The 2 months of the initial contribution period need not be consecutive. However, the 2 contribution months of the initial contribution period must both fall within a period of 12 consecutive months. Benefit coverage commences on the first day of the 3rd month of contributions. For purposes of example only, if a full-time employee is hired during January of a given year, employer contributions would be due during an initial contribution period consisting of February and March of that year, and coverage would commence on April 4th of that year. Now, to follow up, prior to me digging into our old files and pulling this out, I did go, Jackie Kovacs is the lady that we deal with, and she is our service, Central States Field Service representative. And Jackie, I sent Jackie an email, talked to her on the phone, and she followed up with her bosses. And she writes in this email thread, Tim Meadows, business agent, is negotiating with St. Francis County, is looking for a health and welfare contract language. This group is monthly, so if a person starts in the middle of September, does he become eligible for benefits after 2 months of contributions are received? In this case, the full month of September and October, so he's eligible November 1st, question mark. Tim said he believes they are beginning paying contributions on day 1 for all new employees, question mark. So Jackie gets this response back from Evan Barber, or Bierman, who is the one of the executive directors, and he says, Jackie, yes, it would take 2 months of contributions to complete the establishing period. However, this group has a waiting period, and contributions begin the month after the month the employee was hired. Health and welfare waiting period, the month the employee was hired. Example, employee hired September 15th or any day in the month of September. The waiting period equals September 2020. Establishing period is October and November 2020, and the participant then becomes eligible on December 1st. Let me know if you have any questions. So it sums it up basically in a nutshell. Like, I know the Road and Bridge will be hiring a couple people, I believe next week, next Monday. So they're in the end of September. So they only have October and November, and they should be eligible for benefits December 1st. But if a person's hired in the beginning of the month, unfortunately, that person has to wait almost 90 days for the insurance, but normally it is basically 8 weeks.
Now, build that into our personal rule of 90-day waiting period as probationary employee.
Yes.
So, you know, we don't want to start the benefit package until that 90 days is up. Is that a calendar 90 days or a monthly 90 days? How does that work?
The calendar 90 days.
Calendar 90 days, okay. So, any thoughts?
We appreciate the clarification we asked, and appreciate Tim following up that for the office holders, what this is if you've got the opportunity, if it's not something that you have to fill tomorrow, you can plan on filling it to the month and shortening this period of time when they pay for it by almost a month. If it's need to, you know, where we gotta get somebody today, there's nothing we can do, they're gonna have to just go for it. But if you've got a year that you're replacing somebody a year after they retire, in the future, we should be able to hire that person where they don't have to spend for. So
How many dollars are we talking about per month on this?
well, depending, you know, it's
Well,
it's 700 and something per employee, and then a family, we've been charging family, so it's over 1,000.
Yeah.
That they have to put up $3,000 before they're covered.
Okay.
Are there any questions of me? I did bring some extra copies. I'll give them to Kevin to get to the other office holders and departments. Here you go, Kevin.
We just asked for that clarification.
This
We
is-
just got the clarification, and so now you're able to approve it as you so desire.
But we do need to approve the bid. I mean,
That's why you need to approve the bid. This was part of that package. We asked for clarification on that bid. This is the clarification. Now you can approve the bid.
And Tim, do you have the percentage change in the insurance cost?
It's right about 3.8 to 4%.
3.8%. The figure I heard was 4%.
Yeah.
It's 4%.
Okay, motion?
I'd move that we accept the bid that we've received from the Teamsters for our health care for the next 3 years.
I will second. Any questions? Good. All in favor of extending our current insurance program, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
That lets the employees, gives them some stability too. They know, you all can factor in exactly what the cost is gonna be for the next 3 years now. And we appreciate that because initially it was just 1 year. I know Louis and the auditors was questioning that, and with the modest increase as far as healthcare, that gives us all the employees some stability for the next 3 years, which is what we were desiring.
Okay. Next meeting, here next week. Other business, correspondence? Public comments? Departmental reports?
Just want to give you one report. We started voting this morning. You see the lovely sign at the side of our building. We started the newspaper. We had a great article yesterday. Appreciate that, Mark. We started ads there, radio, internet ads. All this week, we're front loading them because this is the time we want people to get out. We know the last week they'll be getting out, but over 30 people voted the first round this morning over at Weber Road.
Okay, any other departmental reports? Just ran out of meeting.
Move to adjourn.
All in favor, aye. Thank you all, appreciate it.